The labia is back. You know, everyone was told to cut their labia off.
Labia's back? I didn't know it was gone.
Yes!
Yeah. This is your time.
Woo! This is our year, ladies. Welcome back to House of Maher, a Wave original. Help yourself to whatever's in the fridge. The Wi-Fi password is wrong_turn, all caps. You should know we have a few house rules. Girls are magic.
Reading is hot.
And so are you. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube so you can see us all. Once again, fits all around.
I would say so.
Lovely,
good shoe game again.
Good shoe game again.
Always, please.
You want to see it.
You want to see this, and you especially want to see our fourth Maher sister today is a certified powerhouse who you know as the hilariously name-dropping Tahani from The Good Place, the formidable Titania from Marvel's She-Hulk, and now you can see her in People We Meet on Vacation, whose author we chatted with last week. When she's not acting, she's a powerful body neutrality activist and award-winning podcast host. She's one of the most incisive advocates for women's rights on the planet. Welcome to the family, Jameela Jamil.
Yay!
Welcome to our house.
Thrilled to be here.
How are you doing? How is 2026 treating you so far?
Ooh. Oh, you know, World War, pretty good.
Right.
Chill. Yeah. I think after 2019 and what a fucking cunt we were to that year when we were like, by 2019, it's all about 2020. And then boy, were we taught a lesson.
Yeah.
I've just stopped participating in trying to predict anything anymore. And I'm really I just want to get strong. I want to get strong so I can hit someone if I need to.
Physically strong.
Yeah.
Mentally strong?
Physically strong. I feel like I'm already mentally strong. I'd like to now embody that physically. So I'd like some big muscles.
Now, as an athlete, are we working on this? Are we in the gym? Are we lifting?
I am. I can lift 5 kilograms. So pretty
okay.
Not to intimidate you, but I think maybe we should fight.
Yeah. Very strong.
Now, is that in each hand or together?
Together.
That is in each hand.
Okay,
I'm not a monster.
Right. Of course.
So
that'd be
I'm
crazy.
working on it. Yeah. I feel very strongly like I would like to put up a good fight if anyone tries to kidnap me, which they shouldn't because I'm perimenopausal. Shit's drying up. It's not gonna be good for anyone.
No.
But still, I want to go down swinging.
And you'll just be talking to the kidnappers too.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then
like
they're
that.
going to be like, okay, get out of here. Shut up.
Did you hear about the little boy who sang the same gospel song for several hours and then they gave him back?
A kid was kidnapped and did this?
Yeah.
Where? What?
In America.
No way.
Yeah.
He was that annoying.
Yeah, he was so annoying. They were like, never mind. Gave him back.
That's just not
and I
worth
was
it.
like, that is me.
You know,
That
and
is
with
me
perimenopause
coded.
as well, you got to hear this too, man. Just start saying something.
Yeah.
It's gonna,
100%.
foolproof. But
let
also,
you
I
go.
love that you're getting stronger. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah,
It's a good goal.
I'm so distressed by the state of the internet and everyone's saying that if you want supermodel legs, you should stop exercising and that muscles make you bigger and they make you hungrier.
yeah.
Skinny talk has lost its
Classic.
fucking mind. And so I would love to do everything I can to promote getting as fucking big and strong. Like we are not just in a world war, we are at a gender war that is now occurring where our rights are being stripped away. And, you know, I was reading yesterday that there's a pro-rape club that was supposed to meet up. Did you read about
I'm
this?
sorry.
And a bunch of female fighters found out about it and turned
It was a
up.
boxing club that threatened to show up, so they canceled it.
So they cancelled the pro-rape club. But a pro-rape club exists. It's like, this is not the time for us to lose our muscles.
Right.
This is not the time to atrophy. This is the time to get as big and strong as possible.
I think the wrestling club or the boxing club should have not threatened and just showed up.
100%. What a huge mistake. Well, the women were actually really disappointed that it got cancelled.
I'm really disappointed.
Oh, man.
We'll get it next time.
Our plans.
That's
But what
crazy.
a fucking start to the year. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, just shut up with not all men at this point.
Oh my God.
If you have clubs, like, shut the fuck up now. Like, so we need to get ready.
We do.
I do think, and I think it's important to get strong. I also encourage women to take some classes. Self-defense classes are really
Same.
important. I took a Krav Maga once. Really, I learned a lot. But I think strength is great. We need to also learn, other great ways to defend ourselves, which is scary in this
Like
world.
with a spear.
A spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a kick to the
Crossbow.
balls.
Yeah.
Just go for the balls and anything.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to do, guys. Actually, we all should. I remember I was just talking to you the other day. I was like, I want to take a self-defense class.
Yeah, I've just signed up for self-defense.
Have you?
Yeah.
What
I
style?
want to do Krav
Just
Maga.
all of it? Krav Maga?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Is it,
But Krav Maga, like my first class was so intense. They were like, if someone goes down, you don't just run away. You have to make sure they can't get back up. I mean, they're essentially like
Double tap.
just rip their eyeballs out.
I love that.
Yeah. It's really intense, but I think it's also the energy that we all need to be stepping into this year with. And you know what it is that when I did, I learned a bunch of martial arts when I was doing Marvel because I had to get bigger and stronger and learn how to properly fight. And it's not just about learning how to defend yourself. It's also about the way it changes your mentality knowing you can defend yourself. So all my male friends noticed that my gait has changed forever since doing that. Like the way I walk, the way I carry myself, how aware I am at all times has completely shifted. And there's just this extra bit of don't fucking fuck with me that comes with knowing that you can gouge someone's eyeballs out. You don't want to, but you can.
But you can
It's
do
in
it.
the shoulders.
I like that, the way you carry yourself.
It really is.
She can
And so
gouge eyeballs out.
I think confidence is such a big part of the difference between someone trying to fuck around with you and not. And that's not to victim shame anyone. And confident and strong and muscly women can all be attacked. But my point being that the likelihood is, like, there have been several cases of interviewing people who have assaulted women before, and they say they're looking for the easy target. They're looking for someone who's looking down. They're looking for someone who carries themselves
Like
in a
smaller.
small, weak way. So it's so crazy to me that Gen Z is encouraging women to get smaller. There's that fucking slogan, hashtag stay skinny, stay safe. And it's like,
What?
that is,
What?
you're much easier to lift and
What
put
does
into
that
a
mean
van.
even?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Stay skinny, stay safe. How so?
I don't know, but it's a big slogan on
What?
the internet, and it really bums me out because it's just, I just don't understand how something so stupid can be said out loud and then reposted.
There's no way of explaining something when you're that mentally ill of like that. If you, that is like a sickness to have it. So there's no way to be like, oh, I guess they maybe mean this. It's no, they're just,
It's just
wrong in the
not
head.
right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was once someone tried to two men tried to kidnap me. I wrote about this on Substack. Like once two men tried to kidnap me after using Rohypnol on me, and I was bigger than I am at the time. I was bigger at the time than I am now. But I still had like a small face, so they couldn't tell underneath my coat that I would be heavy. And they tried to lift me and couldn't. And I only found out the following morning when the police took me back to the bar to see what had happened, you know, because I'd been taken to the hospital. I don't drink, so everyone knew immediately I'd been
Something
drugged.
was up,
Yeah. And so I go back with the police, and I have to watch on CCTV these two men like put their knees into it.
Right.
They're like,
Proper form.
which when you're 19 feels weirdly embarrassing, which is so dumb.
Right.
And so I hate
Right.
myself so much for being like, why couldn't they lift me?
Right.
But that's how mentally ill I was.
Right.
But really stay sturdy, stay safe. Like I might be dead now if I hadn't been too heavy for those men to lift. So I think we're all looking at this shit the completely wrong
way. Stay sturdy, stay safe.
100%.
I love that.
I love that a lot. And you do, like, I sometimes carry myself very broad shoulders. I look like I could gouge eyes out, you know, and I walk around with the confidence of like, I'm bigger than a lot of women. Like, and I think about my friends that are smaller than me. I'm like, oh, that feels, but then even at my size, you hear talked about where you're play wrestling with a boyfriend. You're like, hee hee ha. And then the moment happens where you realize, oh no, he could completely overpower me.
Yeah.
A man could completely have control over me if they like, because they're so much stronger than me, and I'm a big woman. And the fear that like in a moment of loving, it has nothing to do with that person. Where you're like, oh my God, yeah, men, that's scary.
Well, pound for pound, I think there's something like 160% stronger than us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I'll keep going to the gym for nothing.
Do the work. You guys are doing the work. I got to get back into the gym.
No, it's
I'm
important.
gonna get teeth implanted into my vagina.
Oh,
I
I
think,
love that.
maybe. Yeah.
Or a cool chastity belt that closes.
Lovely. Love that. I just felt my publicist is just like leaning closer towards the camera. I can feel you.
These are good ideas. Write these down. Come on.
No, I think it's really important, and we'll get into it more. I think why don't we just head into the group chat and get into it a little bit more?
Hi, it's so nice to meet you. By the way.
Hi right, guys. Teeth and vaginas,
I'm such a big fan. We have gone straight into the deep
right
end.
into
No
it.
small
All good.
talk.
No, we're good.
I hope you're well.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much.
We're so happy you're here. So we're going to go into what we call our group chat. We just talk about what's been happening in our text thread this week,
Lovely.
what's going on in our lives. Shout out to Peloton for sponsoring the group chat today.
The two of us on the couch.
Two of us on the couch here were at the premiere 2 nights ago for We've been on vacation. We saw you coming down. I think they brought you down the wrong side or something to your seat. And I was like, there she is. We'll see you later this week. But then you were surrounded by people all day. So
yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
it's a big night.
Did you see me fall over?
No.
When did you do that?
I spilled.
Where?
Boy, did I spill. And then I got something called a marble burn on my arm, which I didn't know. It's like I guess it's like the middle class version of carpet burn.
Okay.
I don't know. But it was on the marble floor in the cinema, and I just tanked it in front of absolutely everyone. So my arms and my knees just I got smashed. My publicist was saying that she can still hear the sound of my kneecaps like hitting the ground, but it was in front of literally everyone. So I'm glad that you didn't.
Well, not them
see
though.
that.
Not us.
Yeah.
No. You did great.
And if we saw, we would have looked away.
Thank you.
We wouldn't have brought it up
Wouldn't
today.
have helped. Just would have looked away. That's cool.
How was it working on the movie?
Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was such a lovely cast. It was one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. And I feel as though because our director, Brett Haley, was such a good guy and he's an actor's director, it meant that if you have like the good parent, you have good kids. And so everyone just treated each other so well. And Emily Bader is such a queen.
Really?
Oh my God. Not only is she absolutely brilliant in the film, as you can see, she's got all the different chops, but she's also just such a wonderful person. And I've worked with some dicey people in this industry, and she is just like the breath of fresh air that I need to carry on.
Really?
So I love her. I'm rooting for her all the way. In fact, like her publicist and I had like fake beef on the red carpet because she knows that I've been going down the line telling everyone I want to leave my job and just become Emily's publicist.
Yeah.
Because I'm so obsessed.
Publicist,
Yeah.
main fan.
But yeah,
all
it was
that
great.
stuff.
It was great. And it's so fun to be part of something that so many people love so much. And also just to see so many girls holding books to sign, just as a reminder that people are still reading.
Yes.
And that made me, and they were like Beatles fans.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Oh, yeah. Emily
so
Henry
that
to
made
them.
me really happy.
Her stories are so powerful. And it's like, yeah, good on Netflix, good on everyone for investing in things that make women happy.
Yeah, and also the flip of kind of When Harry Met Sally, where, you know, it's always the girl who is the stiff, eye-rolling one, and the boy is the fun, lovable one. Like, to be able to flip that around was so refreshing, because that is so often, so much more often the case in all the relationship dynamics I see. I rarely see a really stiff woman who's just eye-rolling with a really fun guy. It's always the other way around. So it's really nice to see that on screen.
To do that in a way where it's also not manic pixie dream girl vibes.
100%.
She was just very cool. And she played her so well.
She was so relatable.
Yeah.
I think everyone sees themselves in her.
Yeah.
Now, did you always want to be an actress, or did you almost like not use it as a tool to, because like I think I use almost social media as a tool to get me into spaces. Was that always your dream, or did you almost use it as a tool because I saw the power in social media? Did you see the power in acting and being in those spaces?
Yeah, I was an English teacher, and I got street scouted to try out for television. There was a big nationwide call, and I went to the audition and I got it, and I became a TV host. And then after that, I went and worked at the BBC, and then I became a documentary maker at the BBC. And then I got bored, so I went to America just to try something new and be a writer. I also really didn't enjoy fame. Lol. Or being on camera, or being perceived, or having my photograph taken. Lol. And so I was like, I'm going to go and just become a writer if I'm lucky in America. And I was 28, 29. Everyone was telling me that my time was up anyway, because it was 15 years ago. That's what things were like. So or 10 years ago. So I got here. I wrote this screenplay. It passed around to a few different people. Someone knew an agent a manager who wanted to meet me. I went, met that manager, he signed me, and then the audition for The Good Place came up. And I had never acted before, so I thought it was ludicrous for me to go. But I went, and then unbelievably I got it, and they forced me to join social media to promote the show. And that was the first time, you know, I'd been on Twitter, but I used Twitter just to be a dick,
as you should.
and understanding social media and how toxic it was for girls made me realize, acting and the platform this gives me and social media means that I can say all the shit my 12-year-old self needed to hear. And so it was an immediate light bulb switch of like, oh my God, the power of a platform on a scale I'd never had before. You know, I went from 16,000 followers to 2 million in a year. And so that was just like, that for me, for little old English me in America felt insane. And then I've just been kind of doing my best since. I don't profess to be a genius or an expert. I left school at 17. I'm just doing my best to be what I needed when I was little, which includes fallible. It includes making mistakes. It includes being messy and getting things wrong and saying sorry and coming back and doing better. All the things that we allow men to do.
Yeah.
So it's all been a surprise journey, but the one thing, the through line since I was 19 has been advocacy. That's something that I've always had at the forefront of my sense of purpose.
Was there an inciting incident at 19 where you're like, this is what I got to do?
I think it was the size 0 trend. You know, I was still in I was just like starting recovery of a very long eating disorder, and size 0 and heroin chic were being glamorized. And I wrote this letter about it into the Evening Standard, which is a big newspaper in England, and they put it on page 2.
Wow.
And then the next thing I knew, I was on the news, like on like mainstream Channel 4 news. And then the next day I was on BBC News. And then every day a Sky News. And I was just being like, it was escalating and escalating. And I kicked off at 19 this huge conversation about size 0 and the dangers of it and, you know, eating disorders. And what was really funny is that every day, you know, there's like a little banner that comes up under your name about like what your title is. And so it started as like, you know, Jameela Jamil, advocate. Then it was like Jameela Jamil, model scout. Then it was like model agent. Then it was like owner of modelling agency. It was like the president of the British Fashion Council. Like every day they were over egging my credentials, and I was just this little teenager.
Right.
That was when I learned, okay, I enjoy the feeling of making some sort of impact. It makes me feel less powerless in a world that is working so hard to make us all feel so powerless.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I liked what you said about for my younger self. And I think the work that I do now helps me as well. Like when I make a video about, you know, body appreciation, because it's hard. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about this podcast a lot, but to be back in that trend of skinny is in, I'm like, I feel like I'm fighting a never ending battle.
Yeah.
And I can never stop posting about, I'm sorry if you get sick of my content, people, but I can never stop posting about being strong and being healthy, because the next video I see, I've been getting a lot of weight loss ads on TikTok, I was telling you. And I press not interested, I press unpleasant, I try to scroll away, and I keep getting them. So for me, it's like, I'm doing this for the other people. I'm doing it for the young girls who I know are growing up in this, but I'm also doing it for myself because it's hard out there. I mean, I'm very confident in my body, but I also feel at times like I wish my stomach was a little bit, oh, she did lipo and she got like that. That's so easy. That's simple. And so I do this for myself to put it out there, because if I'm going through it, somebody whose body is my job, my body's taken me to 2 Olympics, an Olympic medal, and yet I still...
Same.
Yeah, of course. Everyone here.
Famously.
And I still have problems with it. So I'm like, man, it's a never ending thing I will never stop talking about.
I distinctly remember you getting angry when you saw somebody, that made a post about weight loss drugs or whatever, and you were like, that makes my job harder.
I'm like
I
gotta clock in again.
I gotta clock in, make another video, like talking about...
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this shit
all the time.
I'm so sick of it.
Right.
I'm in my 20th year and speaking about this publicly, and I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing I've said has even been able to evolve because the situation continues to devolve.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about comedy.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about more projects and things that I'm doing. I would love to talk about other issues in the world. There's bigger shit going on to a certain degree. But this is also so fucking serious.
Yeah.
To have for eating disorders, for anorexia, etc., to be the number 1 cause of death in any mental, like the highest cause of death in any mental health issue. This is like something that we cannot ignore, that's being glamorized and perpetuated by people with huge platforms. And it's just so hard not to feel murderous about it, because it means I and you and the very small pool of us who are left. Because I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm like, oh,
we lost another.
God, there used to be more people in this room. I was
Wait a
like,
second. She was really okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
echoey
take her off
around
the
here
list.
now. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Which is why I love you so much, because
Thank
you're
you.
just out here fighting the fight, and I'm like, oh, thank Christ, you're still here, and you are still talking about this stuff, as tedious as it is. All of you, like, just
Yeah,
Thank God.
it's tough. I will say it's the people I'm around,
Yeah.
my sisters. I also am blessed to be around a team of women who our goal is to be strong, to our bodies are for like a purpose, doing something greater. And then I say this a lot, but I come to LA and I'm like, this is a shift in perspective.
Yeah.
We're all just, okay, that's what we all want to look like.
Yeah.
Okay. That's tough too, with the perspective here. And that's why I was like, girls, get out there and play a sport.
Yeah.
Get out there and do rugby or something that makes you show that your body's more than just something to be looked at. Never ending. We actually just saw a post of yours that we really liked where you talk about Odessa Zion
Oh yeah.
and say like the trends, and you're like, this is just because she's different, and so it's all now people who've done their gotten their noses done are like, oh, I should have been that. Can you believe? We talk about all the time, but bodies are a trend.
Bodies being trends.
bodies and
it's
faces
swinging,
are a
it's
trend.
having to come
And
back.
it's all a fucking scam. And because
Yeah.
I'm so old, I've been around now for so many of these loops. My exact hairstyle has gone, I've had it since I was 2, right? So it's 38 years. It is the longest relationship in Hollywood's history.
Right.
It is unbelievable to watch my face and picture be used as an example of like, this is the hairstyle of, this is the trend of the year once every like 3 or 4
right.
years. So you're like, what's the point in changing it? George Clooney has not changed his fucking hair since he was in ER or whatever the fuck he did. Like, why should I have to?
Yeah.
Because it's just going to come back around again.
Yeah.
And I think something that's so important to remember is that, you know, it's all a loop. The reason that many people rush to hurt or mutilate or punish themselves to meet a trend is because they think they're going to be left behind. You cannot be left behind in a loop. It's gonna come back around.
Yeah.
Now that everyone's getting skinny, as soon as everyone manages to achieve the beauty aesthetic shifts, and it shifts dramatically. So everyone who had their BBLs that they almost died for removed and their breast implants removed, they're now gonna have to go and be like, fuck, do I need to go back and get that? Do I need to get another one back? You know, we're hearing about in, I think, Korea, the women are now having bumps put into their noses because now the new status of beauty is to have a deviated nose. So the little button dolly nose is now gone. It's like people spend a lot of money on that.
The ski
and
jump
now we're doing
nose.
facelifts, and maybe at some point facelifts will come out. And it's just, you know, everyone had their jaw shaved. I bet a wide jaw is going to come back in. Whatever it is.
You're ready.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's coming in at some point.
Yeah.
It's just going to come in once you've spent all your money getting the other thing.
Yeah.
So I just choose to save my money. I refuse. I've looked exactly the same since I was born.
Yeah.
Since I was born, I came out like this, wearing this jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. And
That wing liner.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people get so mad at me, and I'm doing it out of spite. It is an act of resistance.
It is.
To never change the way that I look, because I am highlighting the scam of it all. And the reason I was talking about Odessa Zion, it's like plenty of people look like Odessa Zion, but no one is being propped up in the mainstream the way that she is, who looks like that. And it's because the turn has already begun.
Yeah.
And super skinny, I think, will be out soon, and then curves will be in, and then they'll come out again, and then they'll be in again. So it's like, why? Like, for whom are we doing this?
And it's who
Men?
benefits
To make
literally.
money.
Kidding?
It's like, what's the thing? It's like, who benefits from women hating themselves? But like capitalism, like men, people
Literally,
selling
that's how I
stuff,
More
Covered.
surgeries, more
surgeries,
skincare,
like,
more
who benefits
this.
from you not liking you?
Spite.
Yeah.
Spite is how I recovered. I did a bit of EMDR therapy, and then it was knowing that people make money off of every horrible thought I have about my face and body. And the spite carried me through. And I really feel like religious text has got this wrong. And that, you know, it's like, oh, you mustn't have spite. You mustn't have like evil in your heart. It's actually very powerful.
Okay.
It's very powerful. I
take a
highly
look.
recommend it to everyone. Spite.
Because if there's so much evil out there in the world, I think you need to have a little bit of it in you to
when they go low, you go lower.
Rebuke it.
You get into the gutter and you drag them by their pubes.
Yeah.
The little ones
if you
around
can anymore.
Yeah.
They've all lasered it away.
Everyone lasered their bushes.
But you know that like the labia is back. You know, everyone was told to cut their labia off.
Labia's
Now,
back?
I didn't know it was
Labia's
gone.
back. This is your time. It's
Sorry,
called,
your lady.
You're supposed to have now a puffy labia.
What?
So it's called a puffy labia. So they're putting filler in their
No
labias.
way.
Yes.
No.
This is real. This is real. And do you know how many nerve endings there are around your
I'm thinking,
labia?
like, can you ride a bike after that?
No, yeah.
You know?
Owie.
A horse?
God.
Absolutely not.
No.
No, so you need to have a puffy labia. And all the weight loss injections are shriveling people's labias. So that's a perfect time to be like, well, we need to fill that back
Good
up.
to know.
Interesting.
And this reminds me, the spite thing, I just heard it on the internet too. It's like my high horse has saved me time and time again.
Yes.
By being on a high horse about certain things. Like I never tried vapes. I never did that because I was on a high horse about it. And now I'm not addicted to the chemicals or whatever about it because I was on that high horse. And I'm like, yeah, my high horse has saved my life a couple of times, especially from beauty standards and how they all changed.
I'm the same with manicures, facials, all of these things. I'm like, if my boyfriend's not spending money on it, I'm not spending money on it. Like, that's it. I just go pound for pound with him. It's like what he's willing to spend money on. He spends money on one moisturizer. I spend money on one moisturizer. I'm like, this motherfucker's not going to have more money than me.
Right.
All right. We're competitive.
Yeah.
You know, about our bank balance. And I'm like, right, okay, I'm going to.
Does he have a drawer of sassy tights too?
Huh? Yes, he does.
Yes, I do.
I borrowed these from
I
him.
knew it.
Yeah. But yeah, I just feel very passionately about not like, I cut my own hair, which is why my friend looks really bad at the moment. We'll talk about it another time.
No.
But either way, like I have just decided to take as much of this into. I still love clothes. I love makeup, but these things aren't going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I draw the line at risk and discomfort and possible death, which I think is quite reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm just not up for it. And I think so much of it's a scam. And you know what? I had my nails done once for that Christmas movie I did last year where they insisted I had my nails done. And it broke my nails and it took 8 months for them to recover. I was like, so then you have to keep getting it done again and again.
Getting her nails
I
done,
refuse. Je refuse. What am I going to do?
But I pull them off and it's expensive.
It gave me like an ick. And also while the nails were on, I was like, how do you wipe your asshole? Where is the manual for that? I was too scared
It's a flat palm, I think. It's
Olivia?
But you can't get in.
I'm not
there,
sure. Barely anything,
like,
please.
Honestly, like, and this is an exclusive. I was too scared to poo for 2 weeks. Do you know how dangerous that is?
I couldn't do it.
I
I'd
had to
have
get
to poo
them
every day
taken
at the
off.
same time.
Were you in the States or were you over in England?
I'm
You got
so
more
sorry,
bidets
Jen.
over there, right?
Yeah. Huh?
Don't you have more bidets over in England or were you here for this?
No, I was in Canada and I didn't poop most of the time I was in Canada.
But then I imagine at the end of those 2 weeks, sweet relief.
Sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus
What
relief.
a great time. Never again.
Incredible. Incredible.
That concerns me. We need to poop regularly.
Yeah.
I know. I agree.
And
but
we're also
big on
figuring
being
that
regular.
out here
Don't
too.
But
add
I'm
me
not
into
doing
that.
like a Wolverine shit. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's just unacceptable.
Edward Scissorhands.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Edward Scissor Ass.
Yeah. That's one hell of a group chat. So thank you, Peloton, for being a part of that segment.
Thank you, Peloton. And we'll be riding your bikes with our normal labias.
With our puffy labias.
Okay? You can count on that.
I forgot that bit was sponsored.
All right, Peloton. We're not changing.
That's how we like to do things around here.
Break through the start of the year with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ.
Peloton's most elevated equipment comes with real-time guidance and endless ways to move, alone or with your favorite instructors.
It's cross-training reimagined with features designed to help you reach your goals effortlessly.
Peloton IQ has features like goal setting and weight suggestions for your lifts, so you're always making new progress.
Plus, the new movement tracking camera allows Peloton IQ to count my reps and correct my form in real time. Perfect for when I'm not with my sisters, so I can take the guesswork out of my workout. Training safer, lifting smarter, and making every rep count.
And when your days are busy and feeling stressed, Peloton helps you stay on track.
Peloton IQ creates a personal workout roadmap with weekly recommended classes that match your mood, vibe, and personality.
With features that help you plan, stay motivated, and achieve peak performance, you can let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go, while Peloton handles the rest.
It offers endless ways to train for a well-rounded routine.
Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go.
Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
It's 2026. Hitting your protein goals should be easy. Fuel your New Year's at Tropical Smoothie Cafe with the new limited time protein blend smoothies because powering your goals can taste as good as it feels.
New protein blends are made with Chobani Greek yogurt, real ingredients, and up to 30 grams of protein.
They have cherry berry protein, chocolate PB protein, and almond banana protein smoothies all through March 3rd.
So you're telling me I can have a delicious chocolate PB protein smoothie and hit 30 grams of protein? Say less. I'm getting my chocolate fix and going to crush my protein goals at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm kind of an athlete now in case you didn't know.
And you can add more good vibes to your smoothie with fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach and kale, and ginger, or supplements like probiotics and multivitamins.
Available for a limited time only, so order ahead, take the scenic route, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Download it today.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe. It's tropic time.
I actually have like a funny story.
Okay.
I was recently at a shoot, and I want to talk about this because it's tea time and we're talking about tea. And I think you've talked about tummy teas and stuff before and how annoying they are. So my stylist goes to make a tea and she's like, does anyone want a tea? I was like, I'll take a tea. And she makes me one and I'm smelling this tea and I'm like, this smells like a spice rub or something.
I'm sorry, someone made you a tummy tea?
No. It's something. It's like a Debloat. It is a Debloat tea. And so she's like, yeah, it's from this. She calls herself a doctor, but she's into Chinese medicine. I'm not sure if she's fully a doctor, but she sells these teas for about $45 for 30 tea bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what are you getting from that? Like, smell that. What are you getting from that? It smells like spice mix or something, like something you'd rub on pork. And I have my stylist look it up a little bit more. The tea is made out of just cumin and coriander. And she's selling this as a Debloat tea.
Like,
come on.
And I was like, are we drinking?
Are we drinking the same
I drank it, but I was like, it has great branding and packaging. And I was like, is this for real? Let's go. I'll take y'all to Whole Foods.
Yeah. Right.
We'll go to the bulk spice section and I'll make you a few. And I might add a little bit of dandelion into it.
Yeah,
you know?
get crazy.
Go
with
crazy,
it.
yeah.
But it was just so interesting to me that people are convinced to buy that without knowing. They can be told it'll debloat without knowing it's just two spices, and two spices you put on a slow roasted pork.
Right.
You know what? I'd still take that over the fact that they put actual laxatives in weight loss teas.
Do they really?
Yeah.
No.
That's what was in them, which is why I was going so nuts for years about it. And then I was part of a case that was brought to Congress where they're also putting heavy metals and Viagra in boys' muscle gain products. So it was really mad. They had like amphetamines and laxatives in the ones that are targeted for girls to lose weight. And then they had muscle gain products, had not just tracers, but they had Viagra and toxic heavy metals in them. And like young boys were taking these because they want to have the Marvel body and girls want to have the Victoria's Secret body. And it just really bums me out that we're willing to even like deliberately target children. Like I remember with the flat tummy teas, there were teenage girls, slim teenage girls on the billboards around Times Square, and I was like, God, you're really just pure evil, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking, but it is, so much of it is a scam. All of it's a scam, and it's all designed to take our money. And it's like, we already earn less on the dollar than men do. So and it's more dangerous to get home at night. We can't just walk home or take the night bus. We have to take the cab that we still might get raped in. Like, why are we encouraged to spend our money on this stuff? Like, it's fine to indulge in a bit of frivolity and a bit of pampering. Like, if you enjoy a facial, have a fucking facial, whatever. My face is drier than Gandhi's asshole. Like, I'm sure it would actually do me some good. I don't want it. But
not until the boyfriend does it.
Yeah,
exactly. Until he does it. But yeah, so but I'm like, we are already spending our money on more than enough unnecessary shit. And then we're just trapped in this cycle and this loop of spend your money on this. And I've got friends who are my age in their 40s who they're saving up now, not for their first home, but for their first facelift. It's like, this shit lasts, it costs like 100 to 140 grand. Like,
really?
Everyone is removing their eyelids. Odessa Ozion's got eyelids, and now that's part of what makes her face so beautiful. She's got, what we used to call deep set eyes in my generation that now have been rebranded as hooded eyes.
Hooded eyes.
And it's like, it's insane. Like, I love deep set eyes. It's like one of the things that makes French women so beautiful. So they've got fucking eyelids,
Right?
and we're just chopping them off, and they're gonna come back in fashion. What are you gonna do? Have a fucking eyelid implant?
Yeah, you take a little from somewhere else, put it up there.
It is all falling in line with the rise of fascism, the destabilizing of women's rights. All of it is about making sure that we are distracted and tired and broke so that we can't fight. And now they don't even want us to have muscles.
Yeah.
So
we can't fight.
Spite.
Spite.
It's really just got to be spite that drives you.
I like what you said about distraction. I think that is so much of what we see is that we are distracted by like fighting one another, or it's like what women are just getting consumed with, that like you're not seeing the bigger picture, like what's really out there and what we should be focusing on. I sometimes see a difference of like social media versus like the news, of like there are two like amazing conversations, or there's like an amazing conversation always happening on social media, but it's too like minute compared to the news. That it's, you get consumed by like the skinny, how your body should be, that you don't have enough energy left at the end of the day to address that, to put your own like time and getting involved in your community in a certain way.
Right. Keep educating yourself in other ways.
Have you ever like had eating disorder stuff?
I in high school I was on Tumblr too much, and I started to learn about like first the military diet, and then like there was all like these graphs of like, okay, this day you start with this many calories and then you go down. I was never for like a long time. I remember, I think it was maybe Meghan Trainor who once got a lot of negative comments because she said that she didn't have enough willpower or something like that to have a eating disorder, which is not the right way to say it, because people are like, it's not about willpower, it is a mental disease. And I hear that, but like I felt like I failed myself, that I was like, I wasn't strong enough to do it. It was like a different kind of like sickness for me, of like, why couldn't I not eat? That like I felt like I was a failure and that I just wasn't strong. I'm lucky that was my like, that's how I handled it, of that I didn't have to go through it for a long time because I just stopped. But it was still like, it was a lot on the mental of just feeling like, ugh, why can't
That's so interesting. I think it's really interesting how we've branded discipline. You know, it's like, what you do is discipline. You're an athlete. You are learning a skill. You are putting your body on the line. You are working constantly to get faster and go harder and push further. The way that we have rebranded like super thinness as discipline, what was really helpful for me was when I was able to reframe that discipline as obedience. And once I was able to do that, it changed the way that I not only looked at my own body, but the way I looked at everybody's bodies. And so I'm not saying I'm walking around judging anyone who's toned or this, that, and the other, or muscular. I mean, each to their own, and everyone's got their own story and their own metabolism and their own lineage of metabolism. But I am saying that when I'm watching my peers change their bodies really dramatically to a really unnecessary level of like bone thin, you know, something that I know is putting their bones in danger, and they're going to develop osteoporosis if they keep going like this. I look at it now as obedient, and I look at it as compliant, and there's nothing that I would like to be less than obedient and compliant. There's nothing that is less appealing to me than any form of obedience. I'm only drawn to disobedience in myself and in other people. I think that's why I'm drawn to you three. It makes me sad when I see willful female obedience, and it's all I can see everywhere, and it has changed the beauty type that I aspire towards. Now when I see someone who doesn't look naturally thin, where there's a difference between the way someone looks when they're naturally skinny and when they are hurting themselves and undernourishing themselves to perform this body. And when I see it, I feel sad. I used to think, oh, I want that. And now I really genuinely don't. I want a body that says, fuck the system. And I want an energy. I want the energy to actually fuck the system. I need to eat.
And where do we get that? Carbs.
Yes.
Food.
Oh, I love carbs.
Energy.
And it doesn't need to be like 100 grams of protein.
I was in the gym today, or I was doing PT today, and I remember whenever I look at my muscles, like I have really big arms, and I sometimes will have this feeling like, you know what? I'm okay if no men like me because of how I feel when I am strong. And if this isn't appealing, and it's very appealing to a lot of men, but if this isn't appealing to men,
I've been in your comment section.
Yeah, no, I get
I'm
hoes.
not drooling alone.
Look, I got hoes, but
Yeah.
I looked at like, if this is wrong and if this is not attractive, then I want to be wrong because of how it makes me feel to see my muscle definition on in the mirror. I'm like, I know that this might not be what the beauty standard is, but when I see that and I'm like, I would not give this up for a man, and I'll spend the rest of my life alone if a man never wants this. Look, I got hoes. I'm just being deep there. But
also the beauty standard was set by pedophiles.
Yeah. True.
I'm sorry, that's a teenage girl. They
Yep.
want everyone to look like a teenage girl. Like, let's be real here. This is very pedo coded.
Yeah.
All of it, and the Lolita of it all. You know, the guy who wrote Lolita was gutted to see that it got romanticized. He was like, this is a horror story. What are you doing? And we have that now as a kind of mainstream aesthetic and behavior, where women are also acting like the little and the lost, and like, where am I going?
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. And I just think if any man is attracted to that, we should be checking his laptop. A grown man. Like, my boyfriend is attracted to grown adult women. Like, Monica Bellucci does it for him. She's at least 15 years older than me. Like, it's so nice to know I'm not with a pedophile.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's all I see that as. I don't see a man who's attracted to a normal woman with a normal woman's body and a normal woman's face as some great saint who's overcome his natural urge. I see him as not a pedophile, and that's it.
Gorgeous. What you speak on and the work that you do is so important, and the things you say while playing characters that are known for being so beautiful. Do you feel that people ever discredit what you have to say about body neutrality or about this? Like, because they do see you as the ideal form of beauty. Have you ever faced that, or that's why the conversation happens? Or
constantly, and it's a really, really difficult line to walk, right? Because they're like, well, it's easy for you to say all of this because you fit within the beauty standard. Less and less so now that I'm getting older. And also when I came into the industry, my same face was not acceptable because you couldn't have a strong nose, you couldn't have big lips, you couldn't have tits, like you couldn't have brown skin. They would lighten my skin and change my features in all the photographs. So when I would shoot for magazines. So it's been really interesting to have a face and body that's gone in and out of fashion so intensely. But where I stand on this is that I absolutely acknowledge that it is fucking bullshit that my voice is elevated above other people who are actively being discriminated against because of their looks. However, we live in a system that tells those people, well, you're just bitter and that's why you feel that way, so we're not going to listen to you. And I know that because when I was first talking about this stuff, I was in a much bigger body when I was 19. I just had a car accident. I've been on steroids for years. No, everyone told me just to shut the fuck up. They also don't want people who are within the beauty standard to speak up.
Right.
What a brilliant way to make sure no one has the conversation. So what I can do is use my voice and then use my platform to leverage other voices, which is what I've always done, so that we can all be talking about this together. I don't want to be the only one talking about this, A, because it's fucking boring, but B, because I don't have everyone's different perspective, and C, I want girls who follow me to see that loads of people feel this way because we are so predisposed to following what we think the crowd thinks. And so because I post so many women posting messages similar to yours, where it's all about like getting bigger, stronger, eating properly, protecting your older lady body, like all these women who are like, what the fuck is everyone doing? I don't know if you've come across this online yet, but on my algorithm, the girls who are pushing eating disorder rhetoric, they're pushing like pro-ano content, are doing it like it's like a rebellion. It's just like, we're the cool girls, we're rebelling. And it's like, what are you rebelling against? Bone density?
Yeah, right.
Are you rebelling against a strong?
I was just telling her about bone density.
She just this morning was like, you should get into my workout classes. You got to work on your bone density. I was like, okay.
I have osteoporosis because I starved myself for 20 years. I'm not even 40 yet.
Right.
Like, this is insane. That is so real. People die from a fall. And I have sped up that process. I'm going into the menopause in the next decade. That's also going to dramatically reduce my bone density. I don't want to be fragile. I want to fucking hit someone and I want it to hurt them, not me.
Right.
You know, I've spoken a lot about violence, but, you know, that is important.
It's important.
But when they're rebelling, I'm like, oh, you're rebelling against body positivity, the movement to let people with disabilities or people in different bodies feel okay about themselves. Oh, you're so cool.
Yeah.
Congrats. So cool. Rock and roll. Rebelling against women's health and safety. Yeah. Fuck the system.
That's always going to be good for you.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
It's really confusing to me. So I think it's very important that we highlight sensible people, and I do that all the time. And when you see enough people on my page or on your page or on anyone's pages, you're like, maybe this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a weird waste of time. It is weird in this day and age to simp for men.
Ugh.
And also, and this is something that I've been talking a lot about recently because I'm incredibly rude and kind of like a career suicide bomber. But the people who set the beauty standard, have you seen these people? They do not look like the beauty standard.
Yeah.
Have you seen the editors of the magazines? Have you seen the designers? Have you seen the beauty trend setters? Have you seen the people who own the makeup brands? It's like, you can fucking look like the beauty standard before you push anything on me, babe, or mate.
Me, babe.
Like, come on now. This is obscene.
Yeah.
Who are we taking these orders from? Have you seen the men who are criticizing our bodies, online or talking shit?
Like,
it's
okay.
like, sir.
If they show their face.
Sir.
If they show their bodies and faces.
Yeah. So it's like, maybe you should go get a little less comfortable first before you tell me to.
Yeah.
All right? This is a scene.
Absolutely.
I get the, is that a man? I'm like, honestly, I'm probably stronger than you.
Yeah.
And you wish this would work out for you if you could do what I do.
Yeah.
So whatever you think, buddy, because if that's what a man is, fuck.
You're like, then I'm beating you.
I'm beating you. My labia is bigger than your dick. So
It's like, I don't want to have sex with you. It's like, I don't want to have sex with you either.
No, thank you. You weren't even in the running.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Yeah. It's so funny. Lots of smaller men in particular, I think, get quite upset about my body, and then they transvestigate me. There's lots of zooming in on my crotch to see if I'm if I've got a penis, and I'm like, first of all, that doesn't upset me. Some of the hottest women I know are trans, and also it's so odd to me to see this like desperation to understand what something different to the beauty standard is. They're so lost. They're so confused. They're so insecure. They're so full of self-hatred. It has never occurred to me to go onto someone else's page and shit on the way they look because I'm mentally stable.
Right.
I one time made a video where I would put a lot of comments on that men had made to me, or just people in general had made to me, and with the song like, when did it end?
Oh, yeah.
And one guy, he said like, she should step on a scale or something like that. And I think he was verified, and I get a message from him, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about that comment I made. I'm getting a lot of comments, and I didn't say anything about it. The next comment was like, hey, okay, I'm being told to kill myself by your fans. Can you please take down this video? And I was like, I didn't take it down. I was like,
You
I'm
said
sorry,
it.
You
man.
can't handle the heat.
You said it.
You typed it
Sorry,
out.
my fans are crazy.
Read it back and posted it.
And sorry, you're verified. You put it out there,
It's
buddy.
a natural consequence.
Yeah.
An action for
He was like, this is
reaction.
not funny anymore. I've apologized, and your fans are coming for me. And I was like, this is a really great video, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's really powerful. So I'm not going to take it down.
That bed you made is comfortable.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope you learned. Don't
Are you not
put
sleeping
that on
tight?
people's videos.
Yeah.
There's never going to be progress without disruption. I get so frustrated at people, like if there's just a protest in the street and they're like, oh, I was 10 minutes late to work, and I was like, okay. And without you making noise that you're annoyed, there's never going to be any progress. And if we never do anything, if there's no actionable things for us to do, you're not going to be able to make the progress you want. It's making those videos. It is being confident in your own body, but like more so. I'm trying to find a good example, but
Yeah, it was beautiful. I like that. No progress.
you.
100%.
I studied political science in college, and we did a whole class on just like disruption is the key.
Yeah.
Like you need to disrupt because you're not going to be able to like, no matter how many times you ask nicely, nothing's going to get done.
But to your point earlier, but what?
I don't know. What was my point earlier?
But to your point earlier, what is the way to stop us from disrupting? Distracting.
Distracting.
And so that's what all of this is about. We are in a tight system. Men have not always been, it is not natural for grown men to be attracted to teenage girls. We have thousands of paintings to prove otherwise, that there was a time where men were attracted to women of age with very curvy bodies. Like if you look at like the pre-Raphaelite bodies, like, you know, if you walk through the Louvre, you can see the lineage of men's attractions, and they're varied. Just like our taste is varied, their taste is varied, and the women have body hair, and they've got long hair, no hair, like makeup, no makeup, whatever. Corset, no corset. Some of the greatest songs and some of the greatest art and music has been created about women who didn't look like an AI chatbot teenager. So why the fuck am I going to fucking stress myself out for that?
Why? Don't.
I have a boyfriend who writes songs about me now as is. Lovely. What am I going to do? Get a facelift and ruin that?
Lovely. Come on. In this house, we're no strangers to setting records, so our hair care has to match our level.
Meet K18, a hair care brand that's been breaking rules and records since day one.
They couldn't find real, lasting hair repair, so they invented it. Patented K18 peptide is the greatest discovery in hair history.
It perfectly fits into the broken part of your hair structure, making it strong and healthy again. It's our go-to hair mask for deep hydration.
For breakthrough results, the K18 mask gets molecular, delivering soft, strong, bouncy hair for everyone. Even if your hair is in a ponytail all the time for work, practice, or if you're on the go.
Reversing damage in 4 minutes deep within hair's innermost layers.
You'll flip for hair like new.
Shop K18 Mask at Sephora or get 10% off your first purchase with K18hair.com with code MAR.
This New Year's is the moment everyone is reflecting, resetting, and rewriting their story.
January is about turning that energy into action, and Shopify makes that first step easier than ever.
When you're ready to bet on yourself, Shopify is the platform that helps you become who you're meant to be.
Whether you're testing a side hustle or launching a full-blown brand, online or IRL, local or global, Shopify takes all the guesswork out of starting a business.
So whether you're on your way to a photo shoot or you're rotting on the couch after a rough day trying to save the world, Shopify comes to you, which is how it should be.
Don't have a back office of staff right now? That's totally fine. Shopify basically becomes your entire back office, a team behind the scenes, so to speak, so you can focus on the big picture items.
No more waiting, no more maybe. It's time to build your brand.
If 2026 is your year, go to shopify.com/Mar and make your move. Well, I want to not dive in like a fun topic, but we heard you were a late bloomer. You had your first kiss at like 21, which I pretty much had my first kiss at 21 too.
Did we kiss each other?
It was us.
Yeah.
And it was you. Tell us about that. Were you just like, did your parents ever say like, don't even look, like don't even go on dates?
My mother was desperate for me to kiss someone.
My mom probably was too, honestly.
Yeah,
right.
She was just like, what's wrong with it?
Right.
But I was so bad at reading signals, and I, you know, like you have to be inside me to know that for me to know that you're attracted to me, which obviously like post Me Too has been a nightmare. So thank Christ I met James before. But I really just can't I can't pick up on anything. I was also very awkward. I was super tall. I was so much taller than the boys for until they got to like 19. Awkward. In a bigger body during size 0, and also just had a bit of a rubbish personality, partially because I was awkward, but also, this sounds really awful. My publicist's asshole just went, but because I was so consumed with anorexia, I was quite a boring person. I didn't have anything else to talk about or think about other than just trying to be thin. It consumed every hour of my formative teen years. And so I didn't also have a lot to say for myself. I didn't have confidence. I didn't have a sex drive because my estrogen was on the floor. My period had stopped. So I just think all the ingredients were there for me to not invite that situation in. But then also, and I don't drink, by the way. So then I also don't have that kind of social lubricant. And then on top of that, once enough times goes by, you don't want to admit you've never kissed anyone. So then you just leave it. And it was a friend who I'd confided in who kissed me for the first time.
Oh.
Who kissed you?
My first one was, I remember I was in a party and this guy pulled me in and he kissed me. I don't choose that as my first kiss. That was my freshman year of college. And that was not it for me. No. This was a friend of mine who was really, and we did a lot that night as well. So I kind of knocked a lot out on that night. But It was somebody waited until 21 and like somebody I really trusted and felt comfortable with, and
Open
it
Pandora's
was never that
box.
I was down to. I was always down to do it. I just was like never felt a pressure to do it, and I never felt like I need to get this done or I need to lose this. It was just like, okay, this feels right in that moment.
I really didn't want to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted it to be good and to be with someone that I actually liked.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, I would say I was significantly more into girls than boys in my teens, in particular. Like my first, like kind of really understanding what I was attracted to was, you know, the odd boy, but mostly it was like a picture of Hugh Grant.
Right. Right.
But the people in person that I was madly in love with was, you know, like a girl in school, in particular, who I was just like, but she was a little bit homophobic, so definitely not interested. So
Which might tell you something.
100%. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying on the internet yesterday. I was like, if you think homosexuality is a choice, it's because you made a choice.
Oh,
Dang.
Somebody made a little choice secretly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. But anyway, so I think that being in an all-girls school where none of the girls were interested
well,
in me
there you go, yeah.
was it was just like hell. It was hell.
Right.
I was a kid in a candy store when all the candy was like, get off me, freak.
Yeah.
So that was tricky.
Damn.
But yeah, one of my best friends kissed me because one of my other friends, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, had just come out and everyone was worried that was going to be me. And so for my 21st birthday, I got multiple copies of that DVD.
Oh, that's just like your name. Multiple.
Oh my gosh.
And then, and so a friend kissed me kind of out of pity, but then I was like, oh, you've kissed me, we must get married. And so
Simply.
I lost my virginity to that person and did all the things. Not anal, but I did everything.
Of course.
Everything else. Debut.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a great time for several years.
Kind of same to me. All right.
Yeah, I actually asked my friend. I think maybe they offered. We were very drunk and we were camping in a forest, I remember. And I was like, I think I was 16 at the time. And I was like, everyone's kissing. I'm not.
Everybody's kissing.
Everybody's kissing. I'm
Yeah.
behind the curve. And so I asked them, and I remember it was such a bad kiss. But then I didn't count that, similar to you, as my first kiss, just because under the influence, it was a friend. And so it happened my freshman year of college. I was doing homework with this guy, and then we were done because we were doing it at like the student center, and we were walking back to our dorms, and I was like, oh, he's still walking with me even though his dorm is that way. I was like, why is he taking the long way? He was just walking me back to my dorm, and we're standing outside. I remember I was on my phone looking something up, and I look up, and he was like a defensive lineman or something for like our football team. Big guy. He's coming down. He's coming down. I look down, I look up, and so
there
like,
he is.
He just like laid one on me, and I laughed.
Oh.
And I just
babe.
and it haunted me for the next few days. I was so riddled with anxiety. I remember the next day I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat. I was like, everybody on campus knows I laughed.
No.
And like, there's no way I can recover from this. It is now one of my favorite stories I can tell. How like I giggled the first time I was like romantically kissed.
And did it get around that you'd laughed during
No,
the kiss?
because he was embarrassed. And
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Like, he didn't tell a soul.
Yeah, what's he? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not
That
going to want
must
to
be
tell
so
someone.
stressful. I didn't go to college, so I never had to deal with like anyone finding out anything about my, pussy or anything.
Could you imagine now
lovely.
with phones? You can't do the crazy stuff we did.
No. What about you and your first kiss being awful quiet?
First kiss, like we.
Well, let's just say she was wanted
In high school.
Yeah, she was the hottie.
I mean, yeah.
Varying degrees of late bloomerness here, but I did get kissed in high school, but I didn't like it. Like, I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't feel like I was ready for that, but it's what everyone was doing. And they were all having boyfriends, and they would invite me to hang out with their boyfriend and their boyfriend's friend. So then I had to be there and kiss the boyfriend's friend and like that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Where I was like, and I remember I would go the next day and I would like then text these people and be like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like I definitely told somebody one time, I don't want to kiss you anymore. Like I just wasn't interested in it yet, but it's what everyone was doing. And then I didn't have my sexual debut because we didn't lose anything, ladies. We are not losing to virginities. I had that at like 19, which felt very late compared to everybody else. But still, same thing. I didn't feel pressured into it. Our mom was our school's sex educator, and she was very open about things always. It's hilarious. It was a Catholic school too, so it was brutal.
Abstinence is key.
Yeah, she had to teach abstinence, but then with us at home, she was like, duh, come to me if you ever feel like you need, like you want to be doing
She's
that.
slipping condoms into your lunch.
Something like that. But even then I was like, no.
She would have hoped.
I don't even, yeah, she wishes probably. I was like, no, I don't even want that. But she made herself a resource if we ever wanted to. She was like, I feel you're too young, but come talk to me. And because of that, I was always like, no, I'm good. We're good.
Your college story, weirdly, has reminded me of something that didn't happen to me but happened to someone else. And it's entirely unrelated, but it's such a shocking story that I just want to tell you.
Please.
We talked about this on my podcast. I have a comedy disaster podcast, but there was 2 people who had sex on a one-night stand first year of college. So, it's a big deal. And they've had sex with each other after a big night of drinking. And he's asleep. This happened to my makeup artist best friend. He's asleep. And he wakes himself up with a fart that turns out to be a shart.
Oh.
He's in her bed, right? So he's like, oh my God, this will travel all around college and then everyone will know forever and I'll be shit boy for the rest of my life.
Sharty boy.
And so he's like, what am I going to do? He's like trying to clean it. It won't clean. It's just like spreading. So he's like, okay, maybe I can just pull the sheet out from under her, but then she starts to wake up. If she sees this, it's game over.
It's game over.
100%. So he does the worst thing.
Does he tell her she did?
I've ever heard. He scoops it up in his hand and then he swipes it between her arse cheeks. And then he leaves, leaving a note saying, I don't want to see you again.
No.
And she, to this day, hopefully she's listening right now.
Listen up.
She thinks she shat in her bed and that he's a really good guy who didn't tell anyone. Because he didn't say anything to anyone, because obviously he was the fucking perpetrator. And so she would look at him when they pass each other in the hallway, kind of like, thank you for keeping my secret.
No, he
traumatized her. Men are not lonely enough.
They're not lonely
They're not lonely
enough. He could have easily, she could have woken up to him cleaning and be like, you shart yourself. I'm here to help.
Yeah, no.
Even that would have been better.
He swiped it between her arse cheeks, like in a sexy way. So she was like, while she's sleeping.
That's illegal. That's gotta be illegal.
It's gotta be. Somebody needs to be
fecal matter.
Send her a well-worded email.
Yeah.
Or like actually a handwritten letter.
That is emotional damages.
Yeah,
I would be
fucked.
fucked.
I would not be
if I thought I sharded myself
in fact,
front of a
I
man.
think about her for the longest time now.
Someone else's fecal matter on my...
Oh, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, but you think it's your own, don't you? You think you've disgraced yourself.
He should send
I don't think she
flowers
has sex
and
with
a
anyone
note.
else. Like
No,
for the rest of
1,000%.
Oh my
not.
God.
She's
Yeah.
a nun.
That's
100%.
crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I would traumatize the whole room.
The whole room.
With that story.
I feel like that would be his wrong turn. No?
That was his wrong turn.
That's his wrong
but
turn.
also somehow hers.
Right,
You know,
right.
just
No,
because
true.
she thinks that it happened to her.
God.
These are the kind of horrifying stories you can hear on my podcast.
Yeah,
Wrong
that's what
Turns
I
with
want to say.
Jameela
That's
Jamil.
his. As you can probably hear on
It's
your
really
podcast.
astonishing what people get up to. I
That
swear
is
to God.
Have there
Crazy.
just been so many where you're like, okay.
It's unbelievable. It has completely rebalanced society. It's been very humbling. I've told lots of embarrassing stories. Like comedians who've told stories that they swore they would take to their grave. There was one really sweet story recently where this guy talks about going home with a woman who was really beautiful and the date was going really, really well. And he's a very hairy man, like an extremely, extremely hairy man who feels unconfident about that. And especially in Australia where they tend to be more hairless.
Yeah.
So he has a routine of like, get the lights off, get your clothes off and jump into bed before she sees how hairy you are. So he pulls that off perfectly. He gets into the bed with her. She's being really sexy with him and she like whispers in his ear. She like rubs her hand down his thigh and whispers in his ear in a really sexy voice. How about we get you out of these trousers?
No, that's not real.
And then he pretends to take them off.
I would too.
He's like, of course. They're tight.
Shimmy.
And gets back to the sex. He theatrically goes, you're right. And then pretends to take his own legs off and then gets back into the sex. And I think by then she's probably clocked it. But
She's clocked it.
Wow.
I mean, bless
That's the sort
him.
of story you'll hear on my podcast.
I love that. I love. What's been your wrong turn?
I mean, it's been bad. Like, I've orgasmed publicly. I've shit myself all over the road. I have one recent one, not one recent one, but one I was thinking about telling recently was when I was having sex with someone from behind, and then they stuck it in the wrong hole accidentally, and I said, unexpected item in bagging area.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
How do you come up with that?
I don't know. My brain is broken.
If you're being funny though, because it's an uncomfortable situation.
That's hilarious to say.
That was the only thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
And I said it in a very like unexpected item in bagging area kind of way, and it killed the erection dead.
Right. Well,
obviously. But yeah. So that's my vibe.
I actually would laugh if that happened. I'm like that. I'd be like, that's really good. Smack that.
I agree. I find
Keep on
funny
going.
sexy, but I think women find funny sexy, and I think men find it scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like to crack a joke.
I'd be cracking jokes. Shut the fuck up for real.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been asked to be silent for 5 minutes beforehand, so that like I don't ruin it because
For this
you know,
time, just a little quiet.
Yeah.
My
No,
kink,
it's a full on.
silence.
It's a rule in my relationship. It's like shh,
Right now?
because otherwise I'm going to do one of my characters. And my voice. It's a problem.
I love it.
Well, I mean,
was,
tea was spilled.
That was spilled. That was a hell of a
boy,
tea
was
time.
it?
Shard
Yeah.
was spilled.
Shard was everywhere.
Shart was shared.
Sponsored
Short
by
was shared.
the United Nations.
Yes, of course. And toilet paper.
And toilet paper.
We're going to head just quickly into the book, Nook. We are big readers here. I'm big, fantasy smut readers. But what are you currently reading? What has brought you joy in terms of the pages?
I am a non-fiction girly because I don't have an imagination.
Okay.
So I'm rereading Period Power at the moment because it has changed my life. Have you read this book? It is, I think, one of the most important books for all human beings to read. It teaches you everything about your cycle, but also how to empower your life around your cycle. So the woman who wrote it, Maisie Hill, it took me 8 fucking months to book her on my podcast because she only works on certain days in her cycle because that's when she's going to be her absolute sharpest. So she's got just this tiny window. She's really sticking true to this book. Obviously, it's not realistic to only go to work, but when she has to go and sell her book, she's very, very boundaried. And it has taught me so much about how to not just understand what's happening with my body, but leverage it to my benefit and learn how to really track my body and understand my body. And I don't think there is anything more liberating for a woman to do than to understand her body. And it's also something that I've given to every man I know, being like, this is the holy grail, like this is the manifesto to women. If you can understand this, you can understand us. You have got to understand what 50% of the fucking population are going through all of the time.
Right.
And it's changed relationships, and it's changed my relationship with myself. And I'm so much less hard on myself now that I actually understand exactly what's happening. So that's something that I just highly recommend, and I reread it every time I start to feel like I'm losing control or losing my mind.
Love it.
But it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you
Adding
guys?
that to our list.
Oh, yeah. I read a Viking love romance. Faye Inked in Blood. And then I read... I'm reading... I have to get through Emily Ratajkowski's My Body.
Sure.
And then I'm also listening to Drew Afualo's audiobook. I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm reading and listening to
Not
a
a
lot.
single original thought passing through here.
No. But
constant
also like
stream.
how funny to like maybe get like kind of the Viking mixed up with
Yeah.
some of the
With all
Emily
that.
and Drew
And
stuff.
Emily, she said that when she was on the boat.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, sorry. She
Yeah.
didn't raise the flag.
The
Yeah,
battle
sorry.
cry.
That
No.
was another one.
No, it wasn't that.
She like Olivia will read a lot of memoirs.
I do a lot of memoir. I mix between fiction and nonfiction. I try to do what's what everyone's talking about, what's going on the bestseller list, what's happening. I'll do like audiobooks for those a lot of the time. And then, so right now I'm Mostly Here to Enjoy Myself. I forget the author's name right now, but she's a writer in New York City who she's in her late 40s and she went through COVID alone and was not touched. And so the book is about her time going to Paris in 2021. So like main wave was over, but like Delta and the other variants were still on the horizon. she escaped to Paris in search of pleasure and pleasure only, basically, because she hadn't been touched in years, and her body, and she's getting older, and she's without kids and a husband, and it's very good so far. I really like it. I'm mostly here to enjoy myself is what I've been listening to, and and then I like to read the more smutty fun things, the ones I be fucking in.
So can I ask, why do you prefer to read that rather than listen to that on audiobook?
Because they're mostly fantasy books, I guess, the ones that I do. And like we were talking about this earlier, sometimes fantasy's hard to listen to and keep track of, and because you're not seeing names in places that are like made up.
Yeah,
so it's easier to see it on like a page with your eyes.
Right.
I think it helps me escape more into the world if it's me reading it, because I can create more of the voices, this in the audiobook, they're creating the voices, they're creating that. So I find it better.
Whereas when I read like a high fantasy, sometimes I love when it's an audiobook because it feels like it's a lighter lift, because it's sometimes so daunting that I'm like, I don't have to do the work. I'm just being told a story. I'm currently doing Rag Picker King on audiobook. It's a second book from Sword Catcher. And I'm only like, I think 10 minutes in, but it's good. Yeah, it's fantasy. Essentially the whole thing is, he's an orphan that was raised alongside of the crown prince, and like with the magic in the world, he can like, I forget how he does it, but appear as the crown prince. So if there's ever an assassination attempt, it goes onto him and stuff. The Sword Catcher.
Fun. I'm gonna read that.
I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I wish I could get into any kind of fiction. I think Danny Wallace, the Yes Man, is the only time I've ever been able to
I'm the other way. I want to consume more nonfiction. I think it's so easy to consume fiction for me. I almost think I think there's a point where there's too much. Too many books.
Really jealous of my tour manager. Like when I used to be a DJ, that was my main job in my 20s. And so I had this brilliant tour manager / bodyguard. And he was this like big, muscly man. He was like 6'5". Like no one would mess with him. And he would play like really hardcore rave music the whole time we were in the car, which is just to keep me awake. So that I would be like hyped and ready, because some of these DJ sets are like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and I'm, just a fragile little fucking pathetic mess. And so I would listen to this music, and it was like very much so like part of his identity. But then when he'd think I'd fallen asleep, he would turn on his sexy audiobooks. And they weren't sexual, they were just like really romantic. And they were just like this love stories that would go on. And because we would do these long tours that would go on for months and months, he would play like I'd go through 8 seasons where I sort of became a bit invested in the love story. And so I was pretending to sleep so I could hear what was going to happen. But as soon as I would stir and he'd see I was awake, he'd quickly turn it off, and it would be like, dun, dun, dun,
You're like, no,
dun.
what happened to them?
So sad.
Yeah.
Men need to be listening to love stories. There's no romance anymore.
Men
It's
could
so
learn a
sad.
lot
I listen to
from the books we
you
read.
listen to all the music from even just the 90s, as recently as the 90s. Like it used to be cool for men to love us and to care about us, and it was a mark of honor to be chivalrous and to love a woman. It's so sad what's happened now, and I really miss this time, and I hope it's going to come back around. I hope that the they say that this is an extinction burst. What's happening?
Yeah,
have you been seeing this
like
about how like
Darwinism.
when a behavior isn't? It's around evolution, that when a behavior isn't rewarded, the behavior gets worse before it finally breaks. So you'll see that with a toddler, right? The toddler will keep getting louder and louder and messier and worse, trying to get the behavior rewarded. And after a while, as long as it isn't, the behavior starts to go away and they start to reform. That's what's happening with men.
Like the male loneliness epidemic.
Patriarchy is very, very modern in human history. We think of it as like, oh, this is how it's always been. But even in the Bible, they're finding out that they're realizing that a lot of the text that's about women being submissive was added in afterwards, after the original text, by some insecure dude. So it's really, really fascinating to me that if we've been here for about 300,000 years, Homo sapiens, patriarchy's only existed for like 6 to 10,000 years. And it's on its way out, and a bit like wasps stinging people as they die, like being more aggressive. I think that's what we're seeing. So women just have to hold strong. All of this fucking talk on the internet about like, how do we get incels to get women? Don't do it.
They don't. They're not supposed to carry on their genes.
No. And I think it's really important that we just hold strong, because this behavior, if not rewarded for long enough, will eventually die out.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that before.
Get a vibrator, and stay strong and eat carbs.
Stay strong, ladies.
I do it all. Check.
Yeah.
Check.
Well, that's why you're so stable. This is the most stable room I think I've ever been in.
There you go. Easy.
I'm so
Female
happy right now. I feel so
relationships, too.
safe.
Yeah.
You're part of the family now, so you got to help out with a few chores.
Love chores.
Around this house.
She loves them.
I would thrive in jail.
Yeah.
Okay. Choose a chore you'd like to do with a corresponding task: laundry, dishes, or vacuuming.
I would like to do the vacuuming.
Okay.
Vacuuming.
Okay. Vacuuming. Your corresponding task is. Oh.
Share a song that gets you hot.
A song that gets me hot. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh.
I'm joking.
That is a wild take out of left field. Okay.
No, it's anything by Al Green, but simply beautiful by Al Green.
Okay.
I'm an old lady, but it does it for me.
I love that.
I want to say espresso, but it's not espresso. It's Al Green, Simply Beautiful. I love that. He was a man who was around in the early 1500s, and you can all enjoy that music. It's such a hot song.
Really?
It's so sexy. And it sounds like he's singing it in your ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's our walkout song today.
Yeah, we're playing it out with
it.
it.
Walk out of here.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming over to the House of Maher. It's been
Thank you
such
so
pleasure
much
to
for
have
having
you.
me. It is so reassuring for me that you're all here. Women and girls desperately need this. These voices of dissent are so needed. I'm so thrilled to be in a room with you and so thrilled to get to meet you and watch you continue online. I've needed you my whole life. And so I wish, and I know you hear this all the time, that you've been around when I was little, because it would have saved me so much time and I would have so much more bone density now. So love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all that you do and all you say. And God, fighting the good fight. Well, you can find the movie People We Meet on Vacation on Netflix now, and you can find Wrong Turns wherever you get your podcasts. Follow Jameela at Jameela Jamil everywhere.
Thanks so much for coming over to the House of Maher, a Wave original.
Be sure to watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Plus, follow the show on social media at House of Maher for clips and behind-the-scenes content. We love y'all.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you so
You and your
much.
sassy heels walk out of here. Those are nice.